Life. What life means to you? A few people seek a simple life. Some likes to live with basic needs, fulfillment and a happy life. But very few believe in life should be large, not long. And these few makes a difference, an impact on livelihood. Today we will see some of them who are willing to take risks and contribute themselves for a betterment of society through their idea, vision and hard work. This is Horses Stable Pitch Season.
Hi horses, this is Daniel and then my co-founder Sai. We are here to raise fund for 5 CR for 14% dilution. As I said, like Alienu is a company, and then we are here today to talk about the product called Profit Guru. We are sort of a business operating system at local stores, right? We want to become some sort of a tech co-founder at these local stores. The market, yes, probably everyone must be aware, there are 63 million MSMEs. Most of them are local stores, and then our studies say that more than 90% of them are not digitized. So why digital? Probably everybody, it's obvious that they want to drive their profits and with the tech transparency and all that stuff. Even though so much of digitization going on, why the more than 90% are not digitized? Majorly because it's initial cost, and then initial setup, that takes a lot of time. A computer illiteracy, they might be knowing the smartphones but not the computers. And then complex UI UX of accounting software. Majority of the players, they are designed for accountants, not for these local store owners. And then the English, those softwares are available only in English. And then the major thing is 16/7 or 365 support and training. That's what they need all the time, 365 days in a year. Why now? We can see probably every day that even Walmart talking, Amazon talking, I want to connect to local stores, payment guys want to connect to local stores, delivery guys want to connect to local stores, even lending players want to connect to local stores. At this stage, we clearly see that there is a e-commerce paradigm shift towards local market, the Profit Group. This is a sort of a collection of utility softwares gearing towards driving the profits at the local stores, right? That's our intention. And then, as I said, like, perhaps simplified UI and then solving their problems as if that we are as a tech co-founder. Competition, there are majorly offline players like Tally, Busy, Mark, and then there are like QuickBooks, and then these are online sort of players, and then there is Shopify, which is kind of connecting these local stores or local businesses on the e-commerce platforms. Mostly what they are lacking is that delightful customer support and training. And then what they carry is the accounting UI UX, not the business oriented, but the accounting oriented. Why Profit Group? Okay, I started like major blockers to counter the initial cost. They have to pay 30 to 40,000 rupees. And then we have got the solution on the Raspberry Pi, which costs you just 2,500 rupees. Right, that's down 70% of the cost. Uniform UI, as I said, like they could operate smartphones properly, but not the desktops. We have made sure there is a uniform UI UX product available across all the devices. And then we are powered by 16/7, 365 days training and support. Then we have made sure that UI UX is derived from these e-commerce apps or social marketing networks, right? So that they can feel home and no interface. We operated 3 channels majorly: direct sales, inside sales, and then channel sales. That are the major economics that what we have. And then the sale is around $665 per merchant or local store. How we are different? As I said, like we are different with the technology across available all the devices, and then fast development powered by real time sync technology, right? And then we are talking about the major thing is the support. That what we have based out of tier 2, tier 3 cities. Currently, we are charging $150 per store and then $55 AMC per year. Next, what we are going now with the free model for GST composite and unregistered businesses. Right, we'll be giving it for till 1 CR transactions, and then license fee for premium class food doesn't come under GST composite scheme. And then, as you see that once we are there in the store as their heart and brain, you can imagine what we can do. We know the real-time inventory. You can enable a lot of revenue models down the line. That's the future. Please, founders, myself. I carry 13 years of experience. I work majorly investment banks and Singapore and Hong Kong, majorly developing their transaction systems. And then my co-founder Saijan, he's from IIT Madras, carrying 7+ years of experience. Mission. What is our mission? We want to make these local stores open and connectable. That's what we're trying to do. What is our vision? Once we are there in the local store, what we can be, right? It's kind of like we can create these storefronts in any of the platforms apart from where you can go and shop physically. The ask, as I said, like we are looking at $700K for next 12 to 15 months, and then we have been confirmed. The Quick Heal founder would be willing to co-invest with us because, as I said, like one is security part that we will be adding to our systems because these are mostly offline players and we want to get secure. Yeah, that's it.
Good pitch.
Yep.
I have just 3 alphabets that I want to say.
Sure.
JIO. Everything that you're doing, they're doing at a larger scale, at a much cheaper price.
Okay.
And quick trivia question. I don't know how many people know here. Who owns Tally? Reliance. Right. So that's all I would want to say. I mean, this same pitch has been done by at least 8 founders in the last 7 years.
Yes.
There's only one who's succeeded.
Yeah.
And we know who that is.
I'm talking. You're talking about Jio, right?
That's
okay.
right.
So what
The
is
MPOS.
yeah? Where is our interest is aligned, right? Our interest is aligned the issues of the software, right? And Jio is creating conflict of interest. I'll take you to any store where Jio is operating. He feels that he's going to supply me items. It is not only Jio. Walmart is supplying. Amazon is going to supply me. Do you think that you will keep that system in your store? No. You will know my insights into the store. You can go and talk. Probably, I believe I at least would have talked in Bangalore more than 10 stores where they are insecure about keeping their Jio system in store. Right?
So
And then
who's your
so
customer? What
you're
kind
not-
of store are you talking about? What is the size of the store you're talking about?
we are talking about the local stores. If you go, get to the market.
Banana stores. No, hold on.
Yeah, Banya stores. Yep.
I'm going to give you like a 101 lesson here because
Sure.
I've just sold a company to Jio which is going to be powering their entire backend. So I
Yes.
know, I've gone through their presentation
Sure.
and I know exactly what they are building.
Yep.
There is, one is just the software element,
Yep.
right? That
Yep.
whole backend integration with FMCG players, they're already doing it.
Yes.
Reducing, so in a FMCG business today, right? Between what HUL between what HUL
Sure.
manufactures and you as a consumer consume,
Sure.
there's 6 layers of people in the middle who touch it. Everyone makes money, similar
Yep.
to what pharmacy is.
Yes.
What Reliance does is it eliminates these middlemen
Yeah.
and directly connects brand to consumer
Yes.
and gives back insights from the consumer to the brands.
So probably Walmart will be also doing the same thing.
Walmart's not doing the same.
Amazon will be doing the same
They're
thing?
not. They're not because they don't have the scale to do it. Because the fundamental underlying behind all of this is internet. Who
Yes.
owns internet in
Yes.
this country?
So ultimately, what Reliance will be trying to do? It is going to try to sell this product to the local stores.
That is one part. That's only one part.
Yeah.
It will also empower these local stores to have their own online storefront
Okay.
to sell in the hyperlocal neighborhood of 5 to 10 kilometers using their own delivery platform,
Yes.
which we've just sold to them. It's a company called Grab.in.
Yeah, I think I've heard of. The only thing I want to mention is there is conflict
There is
of
no conflict.
interest.
There is a beautiful little orchestra being played, and none of you will fit into that orchestra.
What, as I said, really what we see is the conflict of interest, right? Reliance coming, Amazon coming, right? Anyone coming. There is a conflict of interest.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, assuming even Amazon does it, and
Yeah.
even Paytm does it.
Yes.
Between these 3 large players, you will not exist.
No,
my
I'm
friend.
saying we are talking about open and connected. If let's say Amazon want to connect these 1,000 stores, right? We are open and connectable. They can connect to these local stores.
So is it possible that there is a vertical opportunity? So, again, all MSMEs are not the same, right?
Yeah.
Across verticals,
Yes,
they
yes,
all.
yes.
Is there a target vertical that you can go after, capture it rather than going and trying to do this in 15? And obviously, you talk about increasing more. Is that a potential possibility, Mohit?
I think I've said enough. I mean, for me, if you're selling software, which is accounting software, there are better players than you. Like, just the fact that you can put Zoho and Tally and say you're better than them, that I will not buy.
So, as I said, we are not competing with them. As I said, there is no incentive for them on the usage of the software. I have spoken to all these founders, and then probably you would be knowing the case of Vyapar, right?
Yeah.
They are doing accounting. What I'm saying is, yes, we are accounting, but our main focus is to drive their business by connecting these guys who are interested, be it Swiggy, Zomato, or any player, like even payments, lending guys. right? I just met outside. These are the ones who want to connect to these local stores to know know what's going on in the business. That's what we are sharing the APIs with them.
You're saying that you giving out data about local stores
Yeah.
with regards to what is their inventory moving. Because
Sure.
if I'm a payment company which wants to integrate and do loans for
Yes.
SME loans to these stores, I need
Yes.
to know how the data is moving.
Yep.
You're saying the stores are happy to give this data to
So
you, but
we-
they're not happy to give it to Jio.
No, I'm
Because
saying-
Jio gives them free internet also.
And Jio, as I said, like they want to supply the inventory, and then there are another 2-3 players
Inventory
out there.
supplying is only, I kid you not, 6% of the overall game.
Yeah, I mean, they're into payments and all that stuff, right?
They are into everything that you're talking about.
Yes,
And they've actually built it.
I'm saying at that point, it's not only one Reliance. There are another 3 players according to the market analysis.
Which is exactly what I'm saying,
another
that there is
2
a
players will
storm
come
coming in your space,
Yeah.
which it's very hard to weather through the storm. Unless you are able to achieve some massive scale where just for the number of integrations that you've done,
Yep.
somebody buys you over for, again, penny to the dollar, not at these valuations.
Yeah.
Any horses? Vikas is out.
Can
Kevin?
we go to the unit economics slide, please? There was a couple of slides before.
210K CAC and then 120K, not 120, $120 CAC, which I think it's a little bit high.
Go up. That depends on the sales channel model.
Right.
So that's direct sales, and then this is inside sales. Again, the concentration here was to acquire a channel sales, again, where we have the profit, and then we are talking to even Tally also on that perspective. So this is what.
So one question.
Yeah.
How do you go from 4.5K? You don't have 4.5K customers, 4,500
this
customers.
1920.
Yeah, but you don't
Projected.
have-
This is projected.
This is projected.
What is your current?
6-7. Sorry.
As we speak, without any capital, how many stores are you present in?
It's 2,100 right now.
And where are these stores? Which geography?
Spread across all over India. 70 plus locations across tier 2, tier 3 cities.
200 different locations.
2,100.
So
Alright, you proceed.
Right.
at,
Yeah.
at $170, which is more or less about 12,000, so $1,000, 1,000 rupees a month, more or less.
No, one time.
One
It's
One
one time.
time.
Every
It's a
month
cap.
he's charging a SaaS fee also.
Yeah, the SaaS fee is low. It's 4,000 per annum.
Yeah,
right?
55. Yes.
4,000 rupees per annum.
Yeah.
And the acquisition is 12,000 rupees upfront.
Yes.
Isn't that like what is that for? That's for the handheld device that you got.
It's for the
Pi.
software.
Raspberry Pi.
No, it is for the software. It's not for the device.
That's what I want to come to.
It's for the software. The
So
device
that-
we're yet to launch. We made sure that it runs on all the platforms.
So I think you will also end up competing with the POS, players who
So
are
then
also trying to.
where do these users enter data?
It's a laptop or desktop.
Okay.
Which the user has to buy on his own.
One second.
Yeah.
I don't like in my view.
Yeah.
I think your TG is misaligned. For those reasons, I'm out. Like my table is shut.
Trupti, you're the last one.
I'll give a skip.
Okay. All right.
In my opinion,
Yeah.
your strength is the product.
Yes.
That's what I sense.
Yes, definitely.
You're differentiating because you've built a product
Yep.
that would work
Yep.
in all the circumstances that a Kirana store goes through.
Sure.
I have seen everything but the product. That's first.
Yes.
If you're confident about a product, I would rather have you get on the Geo platform. Let there be multiple players there.
Yes.
But you know a product is stronger.
Yep.
You will end up being number one on that platform.
Yes,
Which
yes.
is good enough. Which is a large number to be.
Yeah, I mean, that is what, as I said, like from initial beginning, we are not a competitor. There is M-Swipe, everyone who is even Paytm has, they have a Play Store where you can put your app, right?
I think you got a good strategy
Yeah.
kind of input.
Yep.
So, my advice would be, keep
Yeah.
executing,
Yeah.
and maybe we'll see you again.
Yes.
I'd love to actually have you come back and show, maybe for FY 2021.
Yep.
But I do like Mohit's point actually, because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has tremendous experience in
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
If you can just get it more adopted, not focus on your top, or not top line, but top line and bottom line.
Yes, yes.
Let's just focus on the adoption.
Yeah.
This could actually become interesting.
Sure.
All right, great.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Naveen. I have come from Jaipur and I am representing Two Roots. We are looking to raise 4 CR at 20% equity. In India, we keep on saying that every 40 kilometers the language changes, then every 100 kilometers the food changes, and then every 500 kilometers the culture changes. But when you look on Google to search bookable experiences, you only see the mainstream things like Golden Triangle Circuit or the Himalayas or Goa or the temples of South. Okay, I'll give you a couple of examples. Near Maharashtra, around 5 hours from Mumbai, there is a small village in the lap of Sahyadri Hills, where if you are there, it is completely disconnected, tribal village, and you'll see millions of fireflies dancing around you if you are there in the night. Another village called Rusirani in Alwar, it is a 2,500-year-old village which has preserved its culture, and they have ruins of ancient temples built by the Pandavas. Another village called Devmali, around 100 kilometers from Jaipur, where the villagers are living in 1,100-year-old houses. Nobody has built new houses. So there are n number of these kind of things which are yet to be discovered. Okay. Now, all these experiences are very unique, and travelers are looking for these kind of things. But what is the problem? The locals have a potential to offer that, but they don't have any expertise. What is needed to be done? These are the problems. The basic infrastructure is required, financial requirements to make the real homestays and the experience available. Villages are completely hidden. You need to discover them. Then there are safety issues which need to be sorted out. Then we have to have trained manpower to provide the service over there. Why we are entering it into travel is a huge domain. In 2017, there were almost 11 million foreign travelers in India, and more than 1 billion domestic travelers. It is contributing a lot to the GDP. And the trends are changing in travel domain. People are looking for meaningful experiences, immersive experiences. So here we come. TwoRoutes is a community-driven platform, web-based platform, where the villagers can collaborate with the domain experts of travel, which are highly curated by us, and then co-create and offer immersive experiences. That is what we are. So how we do it? We first discover the villages which have potential to offer something. Then we do certain kind of certain Reiki based on certain parameters, whether there are security issues or not and everything. Then once a village is finalized, we identify certain people over there with whom we will start working. Because all our experiences at TwoRoutes are completely driven by the local community to make them more authentic. Because see, what is happening in rural tourism is people take the travelers via village safari or something. But that's again a sightseeing tour, right? To immerse into something, you need to live there with the locals, live like them, and experience their culture from them. So that that's why local community is important to drive these experiences. Our target customer is urban educated people and mainly foreign travelers who are looking for offbeat and different kind of experiences and more meaningful experiences. Our unique value proposition, see, you can consider anybody competitor like Airbnb is an experiences and adventures now. But what we do is curation of the villages. Everything which is available right now is simply a listing platform, but we curate experiences ourselves. Then for reliability, comfort, secure and hygiene, we have created and validated this model with more than 500 travelers in the last 3 years. Then authentic experiences, because locals are completely driving this. No outside person is involved in providing the service to you. Then ease of booking, because we are working in our business model, we are working with B2B as well as B2C. So a single window platform to manage all the bookings and everything. Our business model is, we are focusing on B2B because international travelers are our target market. And international travelers are coming not just for a day or just a rural experience, but they are booking 10, 15 or a month-long itineraries. So from whom they are booking? The companies like TCI Group or Sita or Cox & Kings or Thomas Cooks of the world. So we are partnering with these agencies so that they can infuse our experiences in their itineraries. So we have curated experiences more than 40 villages. First we validated the model, curated experiences, validated with more than 450 travelers, domestic and both international, that the villages can completely manage it. We have validated that thing, and we have a network of more than 100 families in villages who are managing these things, and we are continuously expanding. Currently, we are in Rajasthan, Uttarakhand, Goa, and a couple of them in Maharashtra. So our team, I started working on this 4 years ago. I have built collegecover.com when I was in college. Then I was a digital marketer. I have built a company called Social Gems, which is a digital marketing agency, and we are working with more than 400 clients. And I have won international awards for a couple of my clients in that. Yogesh Mankani, our Chief Curation Officer, he's a travel blogger, a well-known travel blogger in India, and he has been doing traveling, curating experiences and selling them for the last 10 years. Amit Jadon, again a serial entrepreneur. He has run travel agencies, a restaurant, a hotel in Ranthambore, and he has built a solar company also in past. He has a decade-long experience in hospitality. So we three are the core team. Thank you.
Naveen, great job. Just before I open this to horses, I think this is one classic example of a startup doing all the hard work, but doing the hard things, which other startups can't really copy right away, including Airbnb. I actually don't see Airbnb as a competition. In fact, I feel the exact opposite, that if you guys keep doing what you're doing and figure out a way to actually go to 400 villages, I expect somebody to, grab you guys. I have invested as a part of a fund in Spain, Barcelona. The startup went through a very similar experience, and I saw fantastic results, from there. So this is something very unique. I was excited to have you guys here. So I hope the investors also see the potential ahead. Having said that, I'd love to hear, what the horses saw.
No, I mean, just before we start off, the village you mentioned in Maharashtra, that was Bhandardara?
No, Purushwadi.
Purushwadi. Okay. I thought I experienced those fireflies at Bhandardara. It was a total disaster going there because there was just no facilities at all. So we literally went in the night and came back.
Yeah. So Purushwadi is apparently the highest altitude village in Maharashtra.
Exactly.
Completely disconnected.
I've heard of the place and I've heard people give great reviews. I don't know what platform they use to engage, but to visit Purushwadi.
Yeah. So Purushwadi we have developed that with a partner, Grassroots, based in Mumbai.
I had heard them to Grassroots.
I'll let you guys speak, but the question is, do you actually also want to be the front end, which means this whole B2C angle, do you really want to make that effort, or do you want to, open this up and say, I'll go this partnership route, try to get scale as much as possible, because I know that they can do all those things, right? So
in B2C, actually, because it will need a lot of burn. So we have identified a way to do it. Make My Trip, we have put in partnership with Make My Trip to target the B2C bookings only. Otherwise, B2B is completely focused on travel agencies who are selling itineraries. Make My Trip, and we are in talks with Ixigo, and we are in talks with Yatra also. So these partnerships are to start that B2C kind of segmentation also. Eventually, instead of making a lot of burn initially, I want to create a self-sustainable business. I want to create revenues.
So this is in terms of sales, in terms of curation, you are putting a lot of funds in terms of in curation, and of course for people, because you need to scale. So this 4 crores you will be consuming for in what period?
1.5 years, 18 months.
1.5 years. So when we talk about scalability, so how will you do? Because until you partner with the local people, until you partner with established player, you cannot scale up. Is what the challenge I feel.
So in last 3 years, this is what we have done. Before opening up to these partnerships, we have seen how things are. Because see, I have seen a lot of questions from the villagers. The villagers have told us, "यार आप बेवकूफ बना रहे हैं, कोई नहीं आएगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है." अलग-अलग तरह की चीजें थी. ये figure out करने में हमें 3 साल लगे.
As a venture, I really appreciate what you're doing, because you're really working in the villages of India, which is really the heart of India. So that's really great. What I really want to understand is, like you said, comfort is taken care of. I'm still not clear as to how safety and food is taken care of, because you're talking about international travelers, right?
Okay.
So safety and food are 2 of the biggest challenges. That's one thing I want to understand.
Okay.
The second thing I want to come back to is the commercials. So you said your average revenue per client is 4,000. 25% is what you keep, so it's 1,000 rupees per person. I want to understand what's your customer acquisition cost, because I really want to see what kind of margins are there in that. There's a lot of hard work that goes into creating this model, which is a good thing. It's also a barrier to entry for the new person to come in. And the third and the last question is, when you have done all the hard work, what stops a Make My Trip and from going and directly signing a contract or an agreement with the villagers that I'm going to pay you more, they're giving you X number of clients, I'm going to give you more clients. Just don't partner with them, come to us. So what stops that from happening?
Okay. So first about security and food. Water is the most important issue. So water locally नहीं हम पीने को देते हैं, mineral water simply. That is the biggest problem. बाकी food के लिए we do a bit of planning. Locally grown organic ingredients will be used. चूल्हे पे ही खाना बनेगा, but जैसे tomatoes का use ज़्यादा करना, that is easy for the foreigners to on their stomach. तो इस तरह की थोड़ी changes हम उनको बताते हैं. About security, whenever a traveler comes, the local coordinator receives him. Then there is a process of C form, which is actually compulsory only for foreign travelers. But we do it for everybody. So every traveler, there will be a document which will be submitted in the Tehsil office or the local police station or whatever, wherever this falls into. Then the local coordinator completely is there with the group or the travelers till they leave.
We understand the business now, most part of it. There's defensibility, no denying it. Let's just quickly wrap up on the numbers. 30 lakhs of revenue is what you're saying. Right? So जिसका मतलब you're doing about 1.2 crores of GMV?
नहीं 30 lakhs की सेल्स की हमने सेल्स अभी ओपन नहीं की थी, ये हमारा वैलिडेशन पार्ट के अंदर हमने पेड ट्रैवलर से ही किया सारा.
Okay.
तो the day when I started, उसके पहले दिन से मैंने सेल करना शुरू कर दिया था using Facebook. Continuously ये चीजें चल रही हैं.
On what basis have you reached that valuation?
See, currently we just opened up our bookings. Okay, we have got 2,000-3,000 traveler confirmation commitment from the existing partners, and this is the first season. They are just testing us. If they'll, and we are sure that they'll get the good the best feedback, because we have validated this. If they get the right feedback from the travelers, they can simply ramp it up. They are controlling 5 lakh travelers in Rajasthan only. That's just one state. We are in Uttarakhand, and now we are moving to other states.
I'm just trying to understand, if I want to go to a first place which you showed, okay, but definitely ensuring ki all comforts are there. I'm not saying very, very luxurious like Mauritius or something.
So you'll get clean bed linens, you'll get Western toilet.
Can I be your customer?
The answer is yes.
Yes, you can be.
Good. Rohit, what do you see? You see a business here that you'd be interested in?
No, I love what these guys are doing. I clearly see an execution capability as well.
Do you love it so much that you want to give a term sheet or no?
No, for a simple reason that I don't see myself adding any value to the business beyond the check, and that's not what we like to do. But like I wish you all the best, and I think what you're doing is great.
So, Naveen, unfortunately, even though you didn't get a deal here, I do strongly feel that you will become that classic case. So good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck, Naveen.
Yeah, thanks.
Your pitch could change a little for people like us on. So I would not be very much interested in the commercial proposition in your case, but the smart village thing. People are ready to put in money for the development, and specifically if they're from the hometown, or for example, if I'm from UP and that particular place is getting that smart village opportunities, employment and exposure, this could be the CSR I would like to do. From the CSR perspective, we are doing such small smart villages. So maybe a little twist, I'm just advising.
I think what she's saying is making sense. Instead of maybe at this point going and looking for a large amount of fund, you have people adopt their own villages.
Please work on it and get in touch. I will be happy to help from the government support point of view.
And if you do the other way around, I'd be more than happy to introduce you to folks. So my opinion is exact opposite of what they are telling you. I think you should continue on this path. There is nothing more unique than what you are doing.
No, it can complement.
If you start doing the social impact angle, then it becomes less business.
Actually, I don't believe in charity at all.
Sure.
But yeah, social impact should be sustainable.
And that's what you are doing as well. You have
it takes time. So we are exploring other avenues too. Otherwise, you are in talks with certain governments.
I mean, I think you got more than just not a term sheet, I guess, which I think is great, which is what we are here for as well. So
good input.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey horses. Myself, I'm Naveen, and I represent Eduvatsu as one of the founders of it. And I'm here to raise about 1 to 2 million in terms of equity for 15 to 25% dilution. We started in the year July 2017, commercial operations, and as I told you, we have about 40,000 paid users on our platform and about 2.5 million registrations as active users. And we are on an average run rate of about 3 to 3.5 annual CR of annual run rate. So this is my team. We make a very good team in terms of business deliverability, and we cover the entire aspects of what an organization needs to deliver. So these are compensations, and we all draw salaries, of course, and pretty much experienced. Next slide. This is the rest of my team, sales, engineering, and this thing. So the major problem of Indian education system, you should all know that we all lack serious functional literacy, wherein it's all based on rote memorization, and there is no actual implementation of what we learn at school. And especially this is more prevalent in the villages and the towns where there is no DPS or an NPS. And of course, where they are, and the cost of education at the urban centers also is pretty much high. Of course, the market of things is about one-fifth of the Indian population is school-going students, and the EdTech is supposed to be at $16.7 billion a year. All right, fine. Yeah, in the short term, what we are currently doing, or what we want to do in the next 1 to 2 years, is we need to get the platform ready for that students to log in and learn and test themselves and practice themselves, and this should be done at a much affordable cost. All right, and in the medium term, we want to help the teachers in their efforts to make the kids study better, to find out and customize the assessments to every student, so that the teacher will exactly know where he's going wrong or what is he weak in to address that concern. And in the long term, of course, we want to make this education free, and it has to be of quality, not free. Of course, it's affordable, and it has to be of the quality that is in the envisioned in the Nordic countries. So as of now, there are a lot of competitors in the market. The edtech is booming, and these are some of the big names that we must all be knowing. So the idea is we are based on an AI vernacular learning platform to further reach into the rural segment. And the platform as such is adaptive, wherein it adapts to every kid's need as such. And it's also affordable. The pricing is about 3 to 4K per year in terms of the per year subscription per class. All right. And we are targeting majorly the middle income and the low income customers in the BOP segment who might have a monthly income of say 10 to 15,000, a disposable income of 10 to 15,000, and who can afford this kind of a product, or who cannot afford a very high product. And yeah, that's about it. And this is a growth rate that we've experienced, all right. And yeah, recently we implemented this growth hack where instead of setting up physical offices, we tied up with a lot of universities and colleges where we went for placements in the students and also recruited them at a monthly stipend of only 10,000 to 15,000 for 6 months. So based on their performance, then we will get them into full-time at a much higher package. So this is a roadmap that we envision for the next 1 to 2 years, for which this funding would help us to sustain. It would give us a running of 2 years, during which we want to achieve all these things. This is a 2.0 that we have currently launched. It has almost everything that a kid needs to learn, including live tuition and everything. We see a good traction there also. Thank you.
So basically, you're a normal e-learning kind of company, right?
Yep.
So how do you differentiate between the extra marks and the class teacher and all? They are already, since 5 to 6 years, they're already into this field. So don't you think that you're running late? You have come
if I'm running late, I wouldn't be growing my month on month.
Yeah, so the size is huge.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking, how do you compare with them?
In terms of product, we are comparing ourselves because we are large in the animated section where we are able to impress the kids all the way from 1 to 9 standard.
Yeah, so even 10, 11, animated 12. Platforms are many. I mean, there are so many players where, the animated contents are readily available actually.
Yeah, they are ready. So content is no longer a differentiator. It's just an enabler. That is all.
So there is no USP, I would say.
Exactly.
What is the flagship course which is picking up the most? What is the main course which the rural India people are, or which one is getting the maximum?
I'm not sure if I've explained you clear enough, but we don't have any course as such. So we have it from KG to 12th for math, science, social, and English. So if you're asking for which class it peaks,
yes,
it's almost distributed equally from all the way from 1st to 9th.
What I am trying to understand is you found a segment, which is the rural segment that you're going after, which is pretty smart thing to do. That shows that, as a serial entrepreneur, you have learned not to compete where others are doing. My problem is, could you continue to protect this, product market fit as you go along? Which means, what is it, what tangible thing are your customers or these parents liking about you? Which means what I'm interested in is, to some of the unit, to the matrix that you showed, I did not see, I signed an annual subscription with you. Are these parents, staying with you over 2 years, 3 years? I don't know if you are already...
Yeah, just go a few slides earlier.
Because that tells me that,
so I have a 65%
something sticky
rate
is there, which I'm not sure yet.
So I have two-thirds people renew year on year, which is
about
pretty...
What?
Two-thirds people, 65% of them renew year on year.
70%.
So that's pretty common across.
So your churn is about 33-34%.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, when I'm doing the math, so you said it's about 3,000 rupees per minute on an average to produce a content. You have about 500 hours. That adds up to about 90 lakhs. So the cost of producing the content is less than a crore, right?
Yeah, correct.
So the real value, you're valuing yourself as 60 CR. So the real value is your marketing reach, right? Which you're saying is much better. And you're able to get into the tier 3, 4, 5 cities.
Yes.
And you're changing your marketing model. So far you're on social media, you're doing most of it.
No, I'm not changing it, I'm adding it.
You're adding. Now the cost of acquisition is what is going to be changing, right?
Correct.
So you're having a certain revenue per customer. It has to be low because you're going to a market which is a very low margin market.
Correct.
So your cost of acquisition cannot go beyond a certain number.
Currently it's around 20 to 25%. And
if you're scaling up and your cost of acquisition per client goes up, that's where the model kinds of gets shaky. Because at that time, you do not have that leverage to charge that much of that much.
That's
of
precisely why I have migrated to this model where I'm able to run field sales team and get to the schools to appoint student ambassadors so that they can spread the word amongst their students. And of course, when they convert a sale, when one of the friend from their network converts a sale, he also gets a payout.
You know Educom.
Yeah.
Educom was also working on creating modules on this NCRT. And they were expanding to different schools. But they were tying up with the schools to execute and to, run in the school, right? But your is majorly onboarding direct customers. That's the difference, majorly. But the content and because they were also not changing once in.
Okay, let me differentiate. Educom is a company that went bust because of their sales team. They were not able to collect payments, and it's a B2B from schools and colleges. You can never collect payments, and your sales cycle becomes highly unpredictable. That's the reason the company went bust. But another major difference in terms of product is there they play the video whatever in front of the entire class, so it's not customized to everyone's need. Again, see, my product caters to a slow learner as well as to a fast learner.
So how much have you actually raised so far? You've raised what? $500,000 or 600K?
So far, yeah, it's about my personal investment 60, and then there's an addition of 1.1. Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go close to 2 CR.
1.1 million? Crore. Okay, right.
Okay, so now you're looking for 10 crores in absolute, like
Indian currency, yeah.
Indian currency, and the dilution proposed for that is 25%.
Let's say 20%. If it's 15, I'm ready to go up to 25.
Okay, so fine. So you're talking about a 50 crore valuation, 10% dilution.
I'm okay with the CCPS also, to be.
Oh, okay. You have a note right now that's floating around?
No, we don't have a note, but I'm ready to do that. So yeah, if
No,
there's a problem with the valuation.
From previous rounds?
No.
Nothing, right? So that was all.
Yeah.
Are you okay to cut down? I mean, drop down your ask?
Yeah, propose a number.
You should definitely.
You can propose a number.
What's your proposal?
I think I'll have to really understand how you use it, how is it planning to use it, and then rework the model to see if it can be brought down. At that kind of ask, I'm not sure about it right now. Yeah. So I'm between that build and buy, right? So the product itself, in terms of technology, let's say it's costed 1 CR, right? So the rest of the money, which is going in terms of valuation, is basically in the traction that you have, the market you've built, a model you've built. Is it worth for me to spend that much money to acquire that kind of marketing? If I had to do the same thing, would I be able to do it with much lesser? In my mind, I can do it with much lesser. And therefore, that valuation is not being justified.
Understood.
So that's one. And second thing, coming back, I'm not able to understand the utilization of that $2 million. So for those two reasons, I cannot really offer right now. Okay. I do not know if there's any other option for me to take a deep dive into it and then come back with an offer, or I can still make an offer right now, which is going to be much lower than what he's expecting probably. Okay. I can.
But before Kevin, gives an offer, if he's, can he give the offer right now?
Let's see.
I just before Kevin gives an offer, I'll just tell you
that we don't shut the door. This is a business worth looking into. Which and the fact that you know what you are doing. I just want to make sure that we don't go home here thinking that hey, let's just not talk to each other. I think there's an opportunity to do something here. So with that, yeah, please, Kevin.
So essentially, there's no other investor. I understand you're going to give advisory services and guidelines and guidance and so on, but there's no other investor, right? What's the minimum ask you can bring it down to? You still have to look at that runway. Obviously, I'm not trying to say that again 3 months down the line you have to get into fundraising. So still look at the runway and think of a number which still work. But it's going to be a lot lesser than 2 million.
5 to 5.4, 5.5, yeah. That would be
around 5 crore?
Yeah, 5 to 5.5, yeah.
And what equity would you be willing to?
I'm willing to negotiate on that.
Okay. As you're saying that 5 CR would last you for the next 18 to 24 months.
Let's say 12 to 15 to 18 months.
Okay.
I'm looking at 18. If my projections go right, it's around 25 to 30 lakh burn a month. On an average, at least for the first month it'll be more, last month it'll be less, but so 18 into 30 is about 5.4. That's how I arrived at that number. Yeah, I'm looking at 15 to 18.
So I think I'll have to shut my stable because I'm still not sure this business requires that kind of money at this point of time.
Unfortunately, looks like we couldn't make a deal work. If you do decide that there is an interest in terms of what your growth projections. I wouldn't ask you to change it. I think if you found something, you definitely should go for that growth. I do think Kevin, a little bit of difference here is that because he doesn't have anything, that he can just protect. I think his best defensive strategy is to go on offense, right? Which is to keep growing. And I do think if you do spend some time outside, it's possible that you would find some partners. And I'd be happy to get you in touch with Aditi as well, and see if there's potential investment opportunities from those angles as well. So thank you for time.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These were our today's contestants with their amazing and unique ideas. Many more to come. So stay tuned and watch our next episode. And if you think your idea have the ability to impress our horses, this table is open for you. Keep chasing your dreams.